stuck in neutral. Zain with the down tilt into a
tips. Oh my god, and Zain is your full bloom 5 winner!
I've got the dig deep. Still,
oh my god! And he stood up knowing that that was gonna be it with the handshake.
Welcome to Esports in 30. I'm Brody Moore, and it's Wednesday, which means my friend Drewface is chilling here with me. Drew, the FGC never sleeps. What went down this weekend? Man,
Everything went down, man. We got Smash action, we got Street Fighter action. It's 24/7, baby. We got events in New Jersey, and we got events in Asia. It's crazy out here.
Yo, now, is there too many events going on?
Nah, bro. There's just too many games out, and that's why there's too many events.
Okay, so do we need more?
Oh, definitely, we need more. I love fighting games. I want more fighting games, baby.
All right.
But you know what happened? Mars is the greatest.
Mars is legit, and I'm glad you brought that up, because today we're focusing on everything Full Bloom 5. Before we bring in a friend to chat the event with us, let's check out some Smash Ultimate highlights.
Oh, that was, oh my god, he took everything, he threw out all the Pokemon he could.
I definitely thought he had the maximum juke right there, but yeah, that clearance bouncing off the ledge, that just did not help him at all.
Oh my god!
For sure.
This is looking a lot better.
Give me the loop.
Game 1 for Yeti, but as I say that, he getting looped on. Oh my god, he got looped on, and then he was off stage, and then he was done.
just wait till the next DLC is announced. All right.
Oh, he did. He finally did it. The odds had to be in his favor, right? Putting a lot of up airs out, putting the uppie as well. Esam can't stay above him the way he is. Oh, is that it? Oh my god, that's actually it. Pikachu got KO'd from the up smash. The shield.
Yeah, please put the shield away. That's a done shield.
Yeah, okay. Oh, he's following, dude. Mars has not gotten hit for so long. Oh, he followed him in Mars with the crazy comeback. He didn't get hit for like 30 seconds.
He's really...
Being above Zero Suit Samus in that opportunity, that probably could have been it for Maister if Mars recognized it.
He went above and beyond for that one. He tried to finish the game.
Oh, what?
No!
What? What?
Maister keep getting like the same big combo right at the beginning. Jesus.
He just took 80%. Like, man literally could not live in the up smash, taking him out. That was so convincing. Right. And competing for Inkling in general, too. If you can't get that berry, then, you know, finding your way to kill. As I said that, jumping off the...
For a quick second, I actually thought Cosmos died first.
Oh, he uses it to cross him up. I really like the way that Mars is using Quick Kick in general. Just as a placement with the down air, that is the Mars.
Yeah.
We've seen that so many times today.
Yeah, side B is going to go ahead and take that stock. Cosmos going to have to dig deep. Still,
oh my god, it's worth it! And he stood up knowing that that was going to be it with the handshake.
That's not what I meant by dig deep, Cosmos. He went deep and paid dearly for it.
And to dive a little deeper into what went down at Full Bloom 5, we've got Toronto's boy, Aaron Blacktwins Grandison Vargas. What's up, dude?
Hey guys, how's it going? Pleasure to be here.
Oh, man. Heck yeah. Let's just start things off. Of course, we're going to talk about Mars. This guy's been on an absolute tear as of late with his Zero Suit Samus.
My babe.
Can you just break down what's made this man so hard to beat in the last few tournaments?
I would say one thing Mars is definitely known for is his defense. When he has that going for him, especially when it's a close set with Mars in general, he makes it very hard to hit him. So a lot of the sets you'll see Mars being very able to be composed, able to just makes it so intimidating, especially when he's able to apply so much pressure as well as making it so hard to hit. He's very intimidating with that style, especially with him playing someone that's uncommon, such as Zero Suit Samus, someone that's a little bit different from her previous counterpart. Mars is very daring and bold in terms of how he makes plays. You wouldn't really expect a play from anyone else except for Mars when you see him go for something very, very bold. Like he'll go very off stage, he'll chase you, he'll do a lot of things that are very unexpected, and he's basically, I'd say, the hype man for the tournament a lot of the times, because he basically plays for the fans. He'll make a lot of plays that will definitely get you out of your seat.
Yeah, I think like I love hype fans because like that's why we got Drew here. We need that, Drew?
Oh, absolutely. So I think the thing about Mars is that I feel like Zero Suit Samus's nerfs have actually played into his playstyle. Can you tell me more about Zero Suit Samus in this game and what tools she has in Ultimate?
So Zero Suit, compared from her previous counterpart, she lost a lot of her basically combo tools off of her throws. So now she sort of has to box you out in general. I would say that the hitboxes are a little bit fixed where she can actually sort of hit low profile characters better. She can, she has to be more precise on how she basically has to space her moves, mostly because her neutral is very linear. It's never like, she's never grounded majority of the time. She's usually in the air. So a lot of time you have to box her out, but because she's so quick with her movement, you sort of have to try to anticipate how she's going to move in towards you or move out. So her bait and punish game, I'd say, is pretty strong in that part. And in terms of pressuring you when you're off stage or in general, can be very intimidating just because one strong hit or one conversion from one of her setups can be very deadly.
Now,
So-
I'm just curious if this, this is a result of just the character, or at this point, are you placing Mars up high? Is he up there with Tweak and MK Leo yet, or is he still got a bit more to like prove in your eyes?
I'd say Mars is pretty much up there. I think the only thing that hinders him is Zero Suit. Zero Suit is one of those uncommon characters, again, that you have to play very different compared to other characters like Ike and Wolf, per se, are like very up there characters that you don't really need a lot of precision compared to Zero Suit. So Zero Suit, Mars definitely helps boost the character up there and makes the character work. I feel like there isn't really any other Zero Suits apart from potentially Nairo, but we don't really see Zero Suit from him mostly, unless it's a last case scenario. So I'd say Mars I'd say he's basically top 10 in my eyes. Arguably top 5, but I'd say with the recent results he's getting, he's coming close to becoming like top 5 IMO.
I mean, yeah, I guess you can't argue a couple wins in a row, right? And especially if he gets any more, right?
He's definitely on the hot streak right now.
Yeah.
Especially after being picked up by Panda Global recently. That's a very good pickup for him.
I mean, one of the biggest surprises when we talk about obscure characters is Mr. Game & Watch. I mean, he's not really strong.
My friend would be happy about that. He loves Game & Watch.
Yeah, I mean, he's not really a strong character. Can you tell me more about Mr. Game & Watch and how Maister was able to finish third and nearly beat Mars?
Yeah, he almost took a set, yeah.
Yeah, it was just unfortunate because that SD game 5, I'm not sure what happened. He just wasn't able to make the recovery back and died very early. That could have been a different ball game if he was able to make it back. But Game & Watch, again, also another uncommon character. From his previous version, he's actually very different. So when I fight him, I actually don't know what he's really doing in general because they changed his moveset almost completely. The way to fight him is basically the same, but if you never fought a Game & Watch before, then the stuff you'll do, he'll definitely throw it off. And Maister, definitely the character expertise with Game & Watch. I'd also say with amazing luck, whenever I see Maister either in person or on stream at a tournament, his luck with the Judgment Hammer, where you get like a 1 to 9, it's crazy.
Whoa.
A lot of times he could just.
Are you calling him lucky?
You got some water party luck. I'll say that. I'll be dead honest. I even tell Maister, like, dude, your luck is crazy. He's like, yeah, man.
That's right. So like, just watching, he had a good showing, but he had a lot of, SDs at crucial moments. It's just, if he cleans up his play, do you see Game & Watch being a more viable character, or is it maybe just, is he already kind of hitting his ceiling with that character, or will it be a little bit higher?
That's actually really hard to say. Maister, basically, like, probably the best Game & Watch in the world, I would say right now. It's hard to say with his brother from Mexico, Reggie. So they're basically like the top 3 along with another Japanese Game & Watch. But I feel like Maister is low-key probably first, mostly because he gets the most results so far. I feel like he carries Game & Watch like very, very hard. Like he knows the characters ins and outs harder than anyone else. And I feel like he can carry Game & Watch's results to make him look arguably high tier. I think it's also a little bit of character inexperience for everyone else because no one really has Game & Watch in their region. There's very few. Like when you go to a stream, it's very rare that you'll see a Game & Watch at each representative region. So
That's
I'd say he's at least mid-tier at worst, but I feel like he's probably going to be like top 25, top 30. Could be a little bit higher depending on how well Maister is doing.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I know how much you love those top tier characters, but like we didn't see there was a lot of diversity.
I mean, there was no Wolf, there was no Mario's, there wasn't even a Swordy, man.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah, each one was a different character. There was Pokemon Trainer, Inkling, Zero Suit, Game & Watch Pikachu,
Yoshi,
Snake,
Mega Man.
Yoshi, Mega Man, yeah.
Yeah, like
Yoshi doesn't really get that much love in this game either, so it's very surprising to see Yoshi in top 8.
Like, what does that say about like the vibe? Is it just people still figuring it out, or is this actually finally a game that's like balanced wide enough that we can see a good diversity of characters? Or do you think there is still like in your mind, can you see a meta still developing around like 1 or 2 characters?
I think the meta will be about like top 20 characters mostly, but
that's still not bad.
Yeah, that's really
it's not
good,
really
actually.
surprising that you'll see like more like Lucinas, Palutenas, Olimars, Wolves, Ikes in top 8, mostly because the way they are fundamentally, it's more successful for them just because of how you can work around with the character compared to someone technical like Zero Suit Samus, Game & Watch, Yoshi. They're sort of uncommon characters that can make it through the top 8, but they'd have a much harder time compared to the pure top tiers.
Now, Drew, like, what's your favorite place? Are you like an aggro person, or do you like we talked about?
I'm aggro, baby.
Zero
I
Suit,
love
okay.
going in all day, and that's why I kind of didn't like Zero Suit in this version of the game because her combo potential in the previous game and her speed was a lot better.
Yeah.
Like, and I can't go in anymore. I gotta play more defensive, but. I don't know how long term I can be if I keep going aggro.
That's, like, do you see aggro bit like just looking forward? I mean, like if someone like Zero Suit is winning tournaments, and they're winning first place, is this where we're seeing that meta go again? I mean, a lot of people said in Smash 4 that it was maybe a little bit too slow, but now that they've added changes to make Ultimate faster, some melee guys in that are getting interested too. Are we seeing it go back to that more defensive play style then?
I think right now the game is faster, which is good, especially with how the mechanics work. You're able to pressure more, be a little bit more aggressive. But I'd still say defensive play might be the wave, mostly because you probably get more out of being defensive than you can be aggressive. Aggressive does have its perks here and there, but in the long run, defensive play usually gets you more reward compared to being aggressive.
Drew's like
I'd say a little bit is also character dependent. I think there's very few certain amount of characters where you can be aggressive and it'll work out. But for the most part, being defensive usually gets you more reward compared to the other way around, I would say.
So I know you're from Toronto, I'm from Toronto, man, and we got some banging Canadians. Do you think any of the Canadians are gonna they're gonna have their come out party like Mistake in Smash 4, or do you think the Toronto scene is it's still finding its footing?
I think Toronto will rise up a little bit. I think it's mostly dependent on how quickly they want to develop themselves as a person and with the tournament experience. I feel like Toronto, if they really want to become a high-level threat, especially when Gommel coming up with the Invaders, if they really want to step it up, I think their passion has to be a little bit higher if they want to raise the stakes for themselves and increase the level of the scene as a whole. I think right now, Riddles, who I usually fight in my region, gets second to me usually. I think he has the best chance to become a rising star, like right off the bat. So I think after, like in Smash 4, it was mistake, then it was myself. I think with how Ultimate is, Riddles, especially with a character that's uncommon like Belmont's, we don't really see Belmont's that much now compared to in the beginning. But Riddles has that style and aggressive play where he is very calculated and meticulous, where he actually is very enjoyable to watch, and not a lot of people like watching Belmont, as you said. He finds a way to make the aggressive play very entertaining to watch. So I say Riddles is definitely the next up-and-comer for Toronto. And then after that, I would say Brandon, who plays Donkey Kong, very aggressive Donkey Kong. We have a lot of aggressive players as well, so.
That's dope.
Maybe that's just this region. It's all
a Toronto thing, baby.
I'm an aggro guy too.
The
Mandems are going in.
Into playing like super aggressive and having a fun time with it.
That's true. Hey man, we're out of time, but I appreciate you dropping in, talking to us some Ultimate. Hopefully we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully I'll be able to be back on the show. It was a pleasure.
All right, that's enough Ultimate for now. It's time to get one of the greatest creations of all time in my eyes. It's Super Smash Bros. Melee. But before we do, we gotta get to some more highlights.
Eventually, you're gonna get a lead in a matchup like this, where it's just slow ways to find hits. Oh, but he got one big opening. Oh, still alive though, barely. Caught him DIing out. Oh, you want that next follow-up.
Oh my God.
Oh, this is chance.
Oh my God.
He did it, dude.
He just did it.
Wow.
So used to watching like H-Box. Oh, reverse forward air, misses the back air.
No, that was, he ran out of jumps too. He's taking a, okay, no, good coverage by Kalin.
If he
Shy
Guys, the forces of nature are protecting Johnny.
Guys out here.
That actually was so ducks.
Shy Guys out here cock blocking your boy, man.
Quite perfect.
Nice. Estion, man. Oh, knows his stuff.
That was a really.
I'm still in that. We're not just gonna pretend like FD is not a counter.
Johnny stock. Wait a minute, it's Johnny stock. That's a Johnny stock. That's a Johnny stock. Sick grab.
He's in the pinball machine now.
Oh, I like the pinball machine.
He really got the knee. He could have gone up there, and he really had the wherewithal to go knee.
That's kind of what happened in game 2 when SBAT made the comeback.
Johnny
left the door open for him. Oh, what a fastball.
You know what? He went out with style. I'll give him that.
Zain is always, he'll roll up sometimes. He'll just do regular get up early. Oh my God. That was
for good measure and following him. Zain's just a little bit out of range. 3 forward airs. Gets the.
Oh my God.
He's edge canceling everything. Little edge cancel.
Did he?
He gets the
Who is this guy?
What is that?
Ooh, I respect it, but no, what? No.
And Zain with the grab. Getting these re-grabs. That is not an easy re-grab to do, by the way. Oh, and oh my God, he bodied him.
He's like, hey, yo, you want to see a dead body? All right, but they're doing a lot of good neutral. Zain with the down tilt into a
tips. Oh my God, and Zain is your full bloom 5 winner.
I'm glad you said it.
As soon as you got the grab, Zain is your full bloom 5 winner.
And as you just saw, Zain is indeed your full Bloom 5 winner. Now my question for you, man, is this the guy to beat now? Like when players like Hungrybox aren't competing? Because we had Hungrybox dominating for a while, Armada before that, and now Zain is starting to step it up. And we haven't, we had that 5-god era for Ben. It's over now for sure with Zain in the mix.
With Zain and Plup in the mix.
That's true.
I think Plup is the other player that is the next god in line, because not only does he have a positive record against most of the gods now, he basically dethroned them and retired them. That's why they're playing Ultimate, baby.
Yo, imagine beating someone so bad you make them quit their game.
Oh, absolutely. And they play Ultimate. They become a full-time streamer, baby. That's what happened. That's what Plup did.
So is Plup the guy? Like a lot of people are saying it's Zain, but like, would you argue against him then that Plup is your man to beat, or is it kind of like a double up? Like these are the guys to beat.
I think these are both the guys to beat.
Okay.
Because Zain has improved considerably. He's actually one of the post-documentary players to actually rise up, because most players, Plup has been playing for a long, long time.
Yeah.
They both come from 2 different paths of being a pro player. One player got inspired by the documentary, became super good. And the other guy's just been grinding, and finally found his footing. And now he's a god with Samus and Sheik.
Well, I've seen, wasn't it Zain then that was actually got coached by Armada for a bit as well too? Like people were actually excited for Zain to kind of rise to the top. Like even
I'm
people
excited
like
too, man. He plays my favorite character, Marth, baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because in Smash you're the Lucina, right?
Yeah,
you're always a swordy?
I'm always a swordy, baby.
All right.
I love my samurai swords. Shadows don't die twice. But Zain might.
The ultimate crossover here. Now, I want to move on to an interesting topic here. A friend of the show, Hugs, had an interesting tweet in response. He has a lot of interesting tweets in response to an unpopular opinion on Melee post. He said, with bigger names having more of an interest in other endeavors, the Melee scene won't be held up by people who only concern themselves with grinding and labbing. Players need to put an emphasis on being out there with a personality if they want a thriving scene to partake in. So he's calling out all the Melee players right now that just want to sit and play Melee and say, that's not enough anymore. Do you think Melee needs that? Or is Melee gonna thrive just by people going to tournaments? Or do we need people to get out there and show themselves on Twitch and YouTube and have personalities?
I do think when it comes to fighting games in general, there needs to be an ecosystem of content creating. And I think he's absolutely correct that players have to be a little more sociable. Yeah. That's just a little bit, you know, I want to know what you're, like, I want to know your personality, man.
Build those brands.
Yeah, you got to build your brand, and I think he's right about that. I do think if Melee needs to survive, it does need a content streaming ecosystem, and one of the best ways to do it is getting yourself on Twitch, having personality, making sure you look a little decent, you know, instead of having the mushroom cut. You know, you gotta have
it out the fashion again.
Absolutely, baby, absolutely. We are on fire with this. But yeah, no, every game that survives has that ecosystem. There's a perpetual news cycle, and with that content creating, there will be in that news cycle.
But Melee's made it this far really without it so far. Do you not think they could keep doing it? Well, I guess they had a bit of WWE
I
disagree.
in there. I disagree. Because we had great personalities like Mango, great personalities that
fair.
also foil to them like Armada, Hungry Box, and you also have Leffen. Come on, the greatest disturber of all time, and the greatest heel.
The God Killer.
He's an awesome heel.
Is what?
He's an awesome heel. You like wrestling?
Yeah.
He's definitely Brock Lesnar. He's definitely Roman.
They were. There was one time I remember. I think it was EVO 2015. Mango got upset with his placing and threw his medal out into the audience.
Yeah.
But people remember that.
You need that personality.
Yeah.
That's what really. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna remember that sick Jigglypuff KO you did, which by the way doesn't exist.
What? Yo! We're about to have some debates in a bit.
But what I do remember is your personality. I do remember when you popped off. I do remember when you got excited for something. I do remember when you fell and you lost your power and all that. And
I'm just imagining some guy tripping and just actually all his power.
I mean, we call that brawl, right?
Yeah. That was a dark time in Smash. So who's kind of like the guy right now? Because like, you know, we see some of these other guys dropping out, you know, moving to streaming and the Mangos and all that, but we need other people to fill their place in tournaments. Who's kind of the guys you're rallying behind? Is there anybody that we can like jump on board? Like this is going to be our next personality?
I truly think it's going to be Plup.
I was going to say I'm kind of on the Plup board.
Plup is not only streaming and not only playing other. He's really handsome. He's got pretty eyes. I love his eyes, but he's actually he's streaming. He's playing Ultimate too, but he actually does have a bit of a personality. I would love to see not only just Smash, but every FGC person show a little more personality and get into content creating, right? Because that's how you're gonna actually keep your game alive. How can you become the accessibility point to making casual viewers get into your game?
Well, no, you're right, I guess. And as you said, with all the money going in all these other esports, people are going to forget about it eventually, except for that core group. If you want to keep growing, I think he's absolutely right. I think we're on board with that one. That's for sure.
Absolutely, baby.
Now, I had a bit of an issue with what you just said a minute ago, because anytime Jigglypuff does well in any kind of tournament, people are getting upset right now.
Ban that character. Why would you ban Bobbly? Ban that character.
You are on the ban Puff?
Oh no, I am not on the ban Puff.
Oh, okay,
I want every Puff. I want 8-man Puff tournaments. I want to sit there 6 hours a day. Absolutely.
I sense a bit of no. It's because you want to get them out of the other bracket, right?
Absolutely. You gotta keep it entertaining.
Do you think people are like actually getting serious about this now, or is it more of just a meme thing at this point? Like, I feel like there's some people that actually hate this character.
Honestly,
like,
I see both sides of the coin, man. I see some people they're super excited. They want that character banned, and I see other people they're like, get good, dude.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I got it. Full disclaimer. I'm a dirty Puff main.
Oh, I know you are, baby. You are a dirty Puff man. You're lame.
But like, I love it. And to me, it was one of the coolest things in Melee was watching Hungrybox single-handedly define the meta for multiple years. One man was able to change the entirety of the meta and how every other player had to play the game. Like, that's incredibly exciting.
If you really want to know my take on it, a lot of people have to understand lane play is a skill. It takes a lot of skill to be that good at being so patient. Yeah, because you're threading a needle, right? Like, you're not being a gorilla just pouncing around the jungle. You're literally being like that samurai, just getting ready.
You're going back to, you've been playing out Sekiro.
Absolutely, I love Sekiro, baby. We got that samurai, you gotta make that slice, you know?
Yeah, but it's like, I think you're absolutely right. Like, I mean, Mango's play style for the longest time played off of just his unpredictability and emotion, right? And it worked, but now it's not. And I'm wondering if like people just need to wake up to the fact that, get woke, folks.
Get good.
You need to wake up that like, this is the meta now. Like, you're gonna have to get used to it. Like any other game. What fighting games have there been any character bans in the past?
Not
many.
Not many. In Street Fighter 2 Turbo, we had to ban Akuma just because he could beat the entire cast by making them not play the game. He had a fireball lock, right?
Gotcha.
So he had an air fireball lock.
He was actually like broken.
Yeah, he's actually truly broken. Other than that, we're not gonna ban nothing.
Yeah, no, you go with it. Either well, Melee can't get patched, but like if it ain't to the point of like, you know, absolute breakage. Like again, Wobbling's the closest one, but usually there are bans you can't go past 200%, right?
I have a take on that.
All right.
Name me an ice climber that has placed top 8 in the last 2 years.
That's a good point.
I ain't seen no wobbly, baby.
That's a good point. Wobbling is I don't think nothing should be banned. Melee should be pure. But we got to move on.
Open market, baby.
Yeah, we talked about Street Fighter a bit there, so I do want to mention we have some business to take care of here. There was a Street Fighter tournament that also happened this past weekend, the FB Cup X SEA Major, which is the first ranking event actually in the CBT. I want to just get your thoughts on that. Who stood out to you first and foremost here?
I'm glad to see Fujimura back on top, baby, winning, because he was my pick last year in Capcom Cup, and he almost made it. Second place, reset the bracket. But I'm glad to see him do really well because his character got a little minor tweaks. A lot of players started dropping her just because, you know, they hate seeing a nerf, but the nerfs
so
weren't that
substantial. So the second it gets nerfed, everyone's like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. They're very finicky. You know how FGC people are.
Yeah,
we finicky, baby.
But at the same time, it's like I do know some people that like kind of stick to their characters and end up doing well with it. Like, shouldn't that be more of a shouldn't the fighting game players be doing that? Like,
well, that's what Fujimura is doing. He's actually one of the best bookies. He's one of the few people that has creative combos with her, showing that this very linear and volatile game has some creativity, and I like that about him.
Well, I know your answer to this because I already know that you are a top tier enthusiast. But like, do you think it's better to just stick with that character at least in this game? So just strict Street Fighter right now, no other games. In this game, should people be sticking or should they be jumping around right now?
You know what? It really does depend on the actual patch notes. For example. Like Akuma got nerfed, but Tokido managed to be the most consistent player in Season 3 with Akuma.
Yeah, we did a bit of a rough period though, didn't we not?
Oh, and he did. That last tail end of his Capcom Cup run was not so good. He got bodied.
Now is that due to him sticking with the character?
I just think the level of play globally has risen. So the game's even more volatile, and by nature, the game's volatile. Like, what can you do? Right?
So it's just 50. So at that top level, then it's like
anyone can beat each other.
It just seems like to be almost like a 50-50, is it? Or like, what is it to take to get to that top level? Because like, we do see consistency in the top 8s.
Yes, we do.
Right. So it's like, what does it take? They're doing something consistently that does work and isn't a 50-50.
Generally, it's just the global talent of top players are more spread apart. So because they can't play each other all the time, they're not going to be able to figure each other out so often. So it's a little volatile because of that. Another reason why it's also volatile is because, like I said, with globalization, with the Capcom Pro Tour being taking place in many other cities other than the USA, there's a lot of top players popping up here and there, and it just goes to show that every player's getting better, every region's getting stronger, and I just hope this continues on through the next season and through the next game.
Yeah, we got a lot more CPT in the future, but we have one more order of business here. We got to talk your player of the week. And I think I can probably mind you right now and think out what it is, but I'm going to let you say it. Player of the week.
It's Mars. It's
straight up,
It's
right?
Mars. Mars has won Collision and Full Bloom 5 back-to-back, like he was on the cover of Lethal Weapon. Back-to-back, like he was Jordan 96 and 97.
That's brilliant. So, you think you keep it up though? I mean, these games, as you said, even with Street Fighter and that, like the talent pool's getting bigger. Do you think like he'll be able to keep this up with more and more people playing?
I think his name is in the mix for the top players, like MK Leo, like Tweak. And the reason why is because this dude didn't go to Summit. How did he level up so much? Why did he beat everybody in these past two weekends, right?
Yo.
And I think it's because
Hyperbolic time chamber.
Absolutely.
He took some time in there.
Absolutely. He definitely went in there. And while everybody was having fun at Summit, he was grinding away. And he's another top talent. I think he's going to find his footing, and I think he's just going to be, he might not win the next tournament, but if he does, it's going to be another feat. We'll be talking about him again.
Oh, that'll be nuts.
That'll be crazy,
to do
right?
3, especially again, as you said, with other players like MK Leo and Tweak and all that. So I'm looking forward to it. Anyways, that is all the time we have right now. Drew, today on Esports in 30. Thanks to Blacktwins for joining us, and all of you, of course, for watching. Join us tomorrow as we go cover some Dota 2 from Dream League Season 11. Until then, follow us on all our socials, and we'll see you guys soon. Drew!